Hi, this is Kristina with Golden Circle Group at Keller Williams Realty. And today I wanted to share some experience about using the escalation clause when presenting the offers and pros and cons of doing that. So just to remind you, escalation clause is a tool that we sometimes use in the offers to actually beat over the other offers and kind of win the competition. And the language usually sounds like the buyer is willing to pay 2,000-3,000 over the other higher bona fide offer up to a certain amount. So you put the cap on the amount, and with the proof of such offer presented to the buyer, so that we kind of get the proof that this high offer exists, and then we've finalized the price by seeing what the other offer was. So it seems like a great tool to win the competition. What could go wrong with that? It's a very fair question. However, when being on the seller side and when seeing how the seller's react to those escalation clause, I wanted to share that experience so you could keep that in mind when using it in your offers. So one of the things that I noticed, so first, sometimes agents really do not know how to word it correctly. So they forget to put the cap, or they forget to ask for proof of offer, or they don't determine, if they actually cap is reached and it's still not the strongest offer. How would the seller interpret that? Should we go to cap, or should you just consider the original offer? So the seller just becomes very confused with the wording. The other thing I noticed is that with obviously multiple offers we're getting these days, when there are multiple escalation clauses offers, and that makes it even more confusing, just because it's really hard to compare offers because they have all different terms: closing dates, inspection contingency, mortgage contingency, down payment. So there's not only the price that's been considered, so sometimes it's very hard to determine which offer to start to be the initial offer that the other ones are going to be kicking on and bidding over. And sometimes it becomes really confusing, and it becomes very challenging for the seller to understand what the terms mean. And then the seller may just decide, well, I'd rather go with even lower offer, but with the one that's straightforward, good terms, less contingencies, good closing date, and good down payment, and that's it. So sometimes it doesn't really play in benefit for the buyer, especially there are multiple escalation clauses in the offers. Another thing that I wanted to actually stress out, specifically during these market conditions we're experiencing right now, just a few months ago the prices were completely different, and appraisals become a challenge for a lot of listings to appraise and get the values that the buyers are actually offering. And we have to remember that since like fall, for just a few months the prices went up 5, 10, even more in some houses. So we have to really consider the appraisal language is one of the most important. And when buyers escalate 5, 10K over the other offer and then say the offer is subject to an appraisal contingency, it doesn't make any sense, because obviously the appraisals are going to use the comps from just a few months ago where the prices were completely different. So when you do, and if you decide to use the escalation clause and you bid crazy amounts over, you have to remember that the language have to be reasonable. You need to put something that you can guarantee the price, because otherwise bidding over thousands of dollars doesn't make sense. You can bid up to 1 million, but it doesn't mean that it will sell for that. So unless you guarantee that price by waiving the appraisal, or maybe setting up a language where you put the cap on how much you're going to cover in appraisal shortage should the home doesn't appraise. So this is the most important thing I would stress out. And if you do the escalation clause, remember that sometimes the seller wants to see a very clean, clear, straightforward offer with waived contingencies, with good appraisal language if you go really good with a good offer. And just keep that in mind. And yeah, if you have a great agent, I'm sure you're going to be in good shape. And if you want to know more about what strategies we use to help buy the properties and what systems we have to sell homes, call us. Call Golden Circle Group at Keller Williams Realty. Me particularly, Kristina Listapad, 781-985-4177, and you'll get taken care of. Good luck.